So we're talking about building rapport. How important is your confidence about building a rapport with a client?
Okay. If I believe, for instance, if I was a pen salesperson, okay, before I go and see you, who may be potentially interested in buying my pens, I like to think that I'm some kind of an expert. Okay? So if you ask me questions, I can either answer it then, and if I don't know, I say I'll find out and I'll come back to you. If I have very limited knowledge, that lack of confidence will come across in our meeting. So try not to be jack of all trades. Okay? Be a master of one. So know your knowledge, don't preach. Okay? And ask lots of questions. When they ask you about your industry, answer with confidence, but be truthful. If you're truthful and you answer with confidence and you don't know the answer, that confidence will come across. But say to people, I don't know, I'll find out and I'll come back to you.
Excellent.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good. Good, thank you. Moving on now with the sales masterclass for people interested in doing it with NLP. I'm joined by Darish Sudi, and I want to talk now about opening doors when you're prospecting to go and get clients. What are the best ways to go ahead and actually get the business?
Okay, great question. There's a number of ways of opening doors. One is through networking, one is through telephone sales, one is through mass email or mail shots, and the other one is field sales. It's incredible when I see my clients how often they hire somebody, train them for a few hours, and let them loose in the marketplace. Okay, and I make them realize that every prospect that could potentially be lost is costing them dollars or pounds or dirhams. So the first thing I'll say to you is that practice makes permanent. So whatever we talk about now in regards to opening doors, do not let anybody loose on the marketplace unless you practiced it enough that becomes a new habit. That's the first rule. Second thing is, say what really matters. Be honest with people. If you're phoning somebody on the telephone, don't try to gobbledygook them and try to use sales techniques to go through somebody. Speak to the gatekeeper and say, listen, I really don't know if my if my proposal or what I've got is going to suit your boss. The reason I'm telephoning you to find out if what we've got is suitable for them. May I speak to them? And you know what's often, because you treat them like human beings and you give them, you're courteous and you're honest with them, they pass you on. So sometimes they say to you, for instance, send some information, and weak salespeople send it, okay, or say I'm not interested. They go, okay, thank you. In sales or in telephone sales or in opening doors, you're bound to get 3 or 4 no's before you get a yes. I often test people who telephone me to see how confident they are in what they're selling, the proposal is. So I often throw an objection. If they say no, thank you, goodbye, I'm thinking, actually, they don't believe in the products they're selling. So the second rule is believe in what you're doing and be honest with people. Phone up, treat them with respect, tell them what it's about. Now, what I do is, when we have our classes, we put together a 15-20 second pitch, okay, that 95% of the listeners can't say no to. We never ever pitch over the phone, but what we do is we actually build rapport in 15 seconds. For instance, if you answer the phone, I telephone you, your fears are that this salesperson that you don't know is going to come and try to sell you something you don't need. And if you buy it, what they're going to do is it's going to go wrong and you'll never see that salesperson again. And you don't have the time, or the money, or the budget. So often people phone in and sell benefits over the phone, and the client's listening to it going, yeah, I'm not interested. And they'll throw the price objection, budget objection, and they go. They get rid of the salesperson. So what I do is I often phone people up and say, listen, from our experience in dealing with people like yourself, there was an association there. We've realized that we can save you money and potentially improve the level of service you're currently getting. But I don't know if we can do that unless I come and see you. And it's going to be approximately 7 minutes. Would that be of interest to you? And that will be my opening door technique over the telephone. On the field sales, it would be very, very similar. I will, for instance, have some media companies on my clients, and they take media packs with them. Okay, and then they see somebody and say, do you have a media pack? They go, here you are, and they leave. Okay, there's no opening doors there, because where's the people buying people process there? They buy in a brochure, they look at it, they compare your prices against your competitors, and if you're a little bit more expensive than they are, they're going to go somewhere else. Okay, so what I say is actually take away those little gadgets, tools or anchors that people give out just so they can run out the room. So what I say to you, somebody says, tell me about you, be very, very honest with them. Okay, say, this is what we do very briefly, don't go into too much detail, find out what they may be interested in, if that their past experiences, and then relate what you got on a face-to-face basis to what their needs could be. Okay, that's field sales. On networking, I always work on an elevator pitch that opens doors for people, that they remember you. Okay, so what I actually, somebody says to me, what do you do? I said, I'm a paracetamol salesman. And they go, what does that mean? I said, well, I fix people's headaches, or often business headaches. Tell me about yours. Okay, and they said, all right, what do you do? And I said, well, why don't we, it's not the appropriate time, why don't we swap cards? And I will telephone you tomorrow at 10 o'clock to make an appointment. So instead of saying, oh, we'll be in touch, and often people don't, I actually commit to calling somebody at a particular time, ask them if that time is appropriate, make the call, and go and see them to find out their headaches. I never, ever, ever, ever pitch anybody on the spot. Okay? And finally, and more than anything else, is that when I go to companies who are maybe on the knees, or they're at the level, they want to take it to the next level, and they're always trying to hunt for new customers, opening doors, I always say, how many existing happy clients do you have? Okay? Even if they have one, I very proactively work on getting referrals from that customers, those clients, because the most important, the most incredible sales tool and opening doors is referrals. So we have a whole referral program that we work on, and it's based on, again, certainty, getting people to proactively get you a certain number of referrals, instead of hoping that if your service is good, they will eventually decide to buy your products and refer you to people. I say, no, let's go through a systemized way of getting referrals and business for you. It's a lot more powerful if I telephone you and say, hi David, I'm telephoning you in regards to Jack, I've done some business with Jack, and he asked me to give you a call, were you expecting my call? And he'll say, yes, Jack telephoned me, I'm waiting for you to call me. Great. Jack feels that we can actually do a lot of good business together. When is a good time for me to come and see you? It's a lot easier, and you're very much on the same level when I call you, rather than me be down here trying to sell you up there